Hi. Hi. My name's, Rick. What? What is it? What is it? What's going on? Oh, you're a pretty nutty bunch, aren't you? I'm pretty nutty as well. I don't care what I do. I broke a teacup in the dressing room just now. Just like that. I mean, it was an accident and everything, but I didn't report it or anything. I'm just mad. Knowing me is a bit like being on the road with the Who. Actually, in fact, one of my friends said that to me the other day. He said, hey, Rick, knowing you's a bit like being on the road with the Who, isn't it? I said, with the Who? Straight off the top of my head, I hadn't planned to say it or anything. I'm just mad, I don't care. Can you see all right at the back? Well, what you doing wearing glasses, then? Why did the monkey fall out of the tree? Because it was dead! No, we're all potty, I'm potty, and all my friends are potty as well. In fact, the other night, right, we were all in the pub together, and, well, actually, I was in a different pub, because they told me the wrong pub to go to as a joke. But I found out where they was because I went to Timmy's house and paid his mother to tell me where they were. And as soon as I got in there, they all said, oh, God, it's Rick. We're all going to a party and you're not invited. And they all ran away. Just like that. And I chased after them and they jumped onto a bus. And I couldn't quite catch up. I was running alongside the bus and they were throwing cans of lager at my head and swearing and everything and telling me that nobody liked me. It was brilliant. And then I chased them for about 5 miles and we got to the house where the party was and it was my house. And they said, you're still not invited. And they went in and they smashed it all to pieces. And I had to pay. It was brilliant. We do loads of jokes like that all the time. Anyway, simmer down. Because tonight, Rachel Welch and me have been asked to come along and talk about teen beauty. What? Yes, well, you'd have spots as well if you weren't so square and old. Kids have spots, and kids are great. Che Guevara had spots. And Ian Botham's got spots. He has. He just colours them up, that's all. Lenin had a great big one right on the end of his nose. And 2 at the side of his mouth. And as for Trotsky, Trot the Spot, they used to call him. It tastes like rhubarb and custard. I wasn't going to do this, but seeing as you're all such fascists, as a special treat, I'm going to bring down the steak tonight. And that's why I've written a poem. Pretty heavy poem, actually. And, shut up, please. It's easy to laugh, isn't it? Shut up! It's an angry poem I've written, and it's called Thatcher. And I'm working on it at the moment. Thatcher! That's about as far as I've got with it at the moment. Shut up! Lastly tonight, I'd like to recite the whole of my last novel, which is called Cliff Richard, 1,000 Glorious Years.
Rick?
Yes?
Shut up.
Sorry, Terry.
That'll be enough of that. This is my show, and not too many bits of applause for people who just come on and perform. Now, the young ones seem to divide...
No,
thanks.
Not mine, honest.
That's what you say. Oh, God. They don't look any better in your trousers, either. The young ones seem to, and taking my own family as an indication, seem to divide the country right down the middle. Young ones delighted youthful population, and it seemed to alienate the adults.
Well, that's not what we aimed for. We tried to get... We thought if we made it about students, everybody's got an attitude towards students. Like, young people think they're going to be one, or they think they're not going to be one, or old people think they used to be one. And everybody hates them anyway. So we thought it would appeal to everybody. But it seems it's mainly... Well, mostly the letters that we get are from younger people.
I think older people, the older generation... I'm pretty young myself. I love it. But that's my glass of water you drink.
I wonder why it was spilled. Sorry.
Do you see yourself? You didn't set out then to be crusaders for youth or anything?
No, not at all. I just think, well, we're not really very youthful anymore. I mean, I'm 26 and some of the others are going on for 30. So,
did you, I mean, are you happy at being put into that position, or would you have preferred a more general appeal?
Well, it's a nice start. I mean, it's a great start. And hopefully if we carry on doing things, then eventually we'll have general appeal.
Yeah.
Whoever he is.
But you become a kind of cult hero, don't you?
Well, that's what they say. I don't really know what that means.
Oh, I'm sure that's true about the young ones. I mean, certainly all the young people seem to be, in the same way as they used to imitate the goons, they seem to imitate you.
Yeah.
And the other members of the team.
I mean, I remember when I was at school loving the Pythons, and or in the playground the next day we'd all be going through all Python routines and things. That's something we tried to aim at with the show, was to try and make it as exciting as the Pythons were to us when we were young.
As far as the younger generation is concerned, I'm certain you succeeded that way. But they say the young ones is finished now.
Well, yeah, that's for a mixture of reasons. I mean, we've got a book coming out.
A slim volume, is it?
Yes, slim volume, very cheap. And that's, in a sense, the third series, because that's all new material. But what we thought we'd do is try and... It's not because we're lazy or anything, it's just we wanted to move on and do something else. Because the first series of The Young Ones was very exciting for a lot of people, and the second one, although I think better made and better performed, didn't have the same shock impact. So if we write something new, then it'll have a better appeal.
But don't you think it's a bit too soon to break up? I mean, I always think...
Well, we're not breaking up. I mean, it'll be the same writing team and the same performers and everything, just doing a slightly different format. So it will be The Young Ones.
You're going to move away from the characters, though? That you've
Yes-ish. Yes, I mean, Aid tends to always play... Well, no. Yeah. He always tends to play loud, violent types, and I always tend to play...
It's just, I think performers sometimes...
You paid?
I think performers sometimes get tired of playing a role long before the public gets tired of seeing you do it.
Yeah, I
always think it's about 2 years later that the public are going to get tired of you.
Yeah, I think that's probably true, although the public expect to have as good a show as the first one, or as good a show as the best one every single time. And I think you get the best work out of doing new things.
So you're going to try and shock them in a new way?
Well, make them laugh more than last time, hopefully.
So you're not out really to shock or make them outraged. What are you seeking to do with the...
Just make it as exciting as the Pythons were. I mean, I remember watching the Pythons and being so disappointed when half an hour was over, because they really used the television set really well. Anything could happen. That's what we tried to do with the young ones. Tried to get 3 strands of sitcom, variety, and say review shows, and bang them all in together so that you didn't know what to expect, really. So it's exciting.
Python was very surrealistic. The young ones, are they based on real people? I mean, it's your...
Yeah, I mean, they're grotesque. They're caricatures. I think it's a very traditional show, really. There's lots of slapstick, lots of shouting. It's a very traditionally British show. I mean, I think it's probably got similarities to The Crazy Gang as much as anything else.
Your character, that based on anybody you know, apart from yourself?
No, it's mainly me. I think I used to be like that when I was about 13 or so.
You weren't, were you?
Yeah, the whole thing started because I was up at Edinburgh in '79, and there were some really terrible poets on. Really, really crap they were. And, God, if anyone watching, you're crap. So I thought, just for fun, we wrote out some poems, and I just went out on stage and did them as straight as I could, and people started laughing, so I shouted at them to shut up, and that character just came out from inside.
Was that the show that was called Death on the Toilet?
No, that was... Yes, I was responsible for that. Yes. No, that was at lunchtime we used to do that and make lots of money. Then we used to drink all day and then go on in the evening in a cabaret and just doing little turns, turn around, fall over, basically.
What kind of reaction have you had from your own parents?
Very supportive. Mum and Dad are both kind of drama-type people anyway. Mm. So they're happy as long as I'm happy, I think.
You don't get people stopping in the street to tell you they think you're a bad influence on the young?
No, I get people stopping me in the street and saying, "Oh, hello, you're Rick, aren't you?" And I turn around and say, "Hello," and they say, "Oh, well," they're really disappointed that I'm not
Because you don't
funny.
look like that all the time.
Yeah.
people expect you to go straight into the character the minute they meet you?
No, I think a lot of people think you actually are like that. It was even worse with Kevin Turvey, when I did a character called Kevin Turvey.
Yes, he was the investigative journalist, wasn't he?
Yeah, and people used to expect you to talk like this all the time, man. And they were really disappointed when Kevin wasn't real.
Where did you pick him up?
Well, I come from around that area. I mean, it's not based on any particular person. It's just it's an accent and a mood, I think, from Southwest Midlands.
Your parents, as you say, were in the dramatic business. You yourself, did you set out to be a straight actor?
I never really set out to be anything. I mean, I'm doing the only thing I can do. I can't drive. Don't know anything about engines or electricity or anything. It's all I can do is just walk around and have people laughing at me.
Oh, shame. Didn't you once play Shakespeare?
Yeah, but I got a laugh off every line by the end of the tour. Yeah, that was in '78. We did a 3-month tour of American Comedy of Errors, and I lost 2 stone while I was out there. Did about 88 performances in 3 months in America.
How did you find America responded? Would you like to do what you're doing in America? Would you like to translate it, the young ones and those ideas, to an American audience or to a more international audience? Or do you think only a British audience would accept it?
I don't know. I think probably the American situation on American television is, from what I hear, is really, really restrictive. The moral majority and everything. It's very hard to even say bum, you know.
Well, you can't say it here either.
I know. Bam!
So, you can't say that.
So I think it probably wouldn't translate anyway. There's a different sense of humour. I mean, Australia, someone like that, I think it'd probably do very well.
Yeah. You seem to be attracted by the bad guys of comedy, by the Oliver Hardys rather than the Stan Laurels. Why is that?
It's just what makes me laugh, I think. I mean, I love W.C. Fields, people like that. It's the cruel ones, the ones that make me laugh. There's some theory that laughing is actually baring your teeth. It's like if you've got a pack of dogs, say, wild dogs this is, and one of them's ill, then they'll all snarl at that one to make him go away. And someone wrote somewhere that the laugh is a civilized snarl. When you see something or some member of society that you disapprove of, then you bare your teeth. I mean, there's no actual explanation for actually baring your teeth and laughing if it's not a civilized snarl, if it's not growling at some piece of illness to make it go away, something that might disease the pack. And so I think when you see someone fall over on a banana skin, everyone laughs as if to say, we're not the kind of people who fall over on banana skins. No, I think that's probably quite stupid.
Do you find young people tend to laugh at more cruel humour than older people?
No, I think young people have got a kind of livelier sense of humour, maybe. I mean, there's no insult to them, no insult to anybody. I think younger people have always been more responsive to more energetic new things, I suppose. I mean, look at rock and roll, yeah.
You went into what is called the alternative comedy, which I know you don't much like that description.
Well, I don't think anybody does. I think that was invented by the press, really, just to compartmentalise us, which is a shame. I mean, everybody gets You've got the Not the 9 O'Clock News people, the Pythons, the Goons. It'd be good if you could somehow mix it all up. And if you had a sketch with Aid and Milligan, for example, or whoever, just mix it up more. It'd be nice to have the opportunity to work with other people. I worked with Cannon and Ball the other week, and that was just great fun. It was brilliant.
Why do you think that an older audience would be offended, as some of them were, by both the language and they claim to be disgusted by some of the stuff they saw on the young ones?
I'm sure they are. I mean, we certainly didn't set out that way. We just put in the stuff that made us laugh, and I think that's all you can do is just... If you're trying to work out what other people's sense of humour is and try and give them what they think they want.
That's true. You can't please all the people all the time. Now, you created 2 characters that I remember. Probably you've created many more, but Kevin Turvey and Rick Mayall. Have you got another one sort of fermenting?
Well, in the 3rd series, I think we're all going to try and work out something that's more fundamental, more long-lasting, maybe. I mean, it'd be great to have something like, say, Hancock had a character of his own that was so near to himself, he was able to play that.
But would you like to set up a kind of little repertory company that would enable you to go on and run as long as Monty Python ran?
Yeah, but as I say, I'd like it to include every comic that's still around.
When you mature and become
as old as Tim.
Richard Mayall, or as old as Ian Botham.
Yes. Spotty.
Spotty, Ian Botham. I'm not going into the dressing room after this. Would you mind going into a situation comedy yourself? A kind of
not at all,
latter-day Richard Bryars.
Well, Felicity Kendall's in it. I'll go for it.
Yes, I don't mind.
Very sexist.
Rick Mayall, thank you.
Thank you, Terry.